From unexpected to shocking, some interrogations take twisted turns that even leave detectives bewildered. Get ready to be spellbound with these cases, where suspects did or said the unimaginable.
Is that after he was dead, he was hanging, I was done for the night. But that was when I took his I cut them out, and I took them upstairs and I hit them.
And here we are, starting with the case of Thomas Robinson, who had been suspected of taking the life of a 17-year-old in Westwood on June 16th. The suspect was brought into the interrogation room for some hard talk with the detectives. Acting all normal and being calm with the situation, he asked for a soda.
See, couldn't sit until I could put this right on.
Thomas was nervous, as if he had done nothing. The officers escorted him to the interrogation room. Shortly after 10 minutes, the detectives returned with a soda tin as he had requested. Now, it was time for the investigation to begin.
How far along did you go in school?
To the 12th grade.
When did you get your GED?
2013.
And you say, I'm not asking this embarrassment, but you can read, right? Any drugs, alcohol, in the last 24 hours going to affect your thinking or? Weed?
Yeah.
The officer started asking the suspect routine questions. According to the protocols of investigation in the United States, the detectives are guided to ask if the suspect had been under the influence that may hinder their thinking. Thomas made quite a statement when asked about that.
What I'll do is read this to you, and then if you, anytime you feel that you're not comfortable answering the questions or talking, just let us know, or you don't understand. I'll leave it up to you, okay? What's your first name?
Thomas.
What's your last name?
Robinson.
Okay.
After his clear confession of being intoxicated at the moment, but sound enough to comprehend the detective's questions, the officers then read his Miranda rights, as he became aware of his right to remain silent and responded accordingly.
So, do you want to talk to us or not?
Y'all ready? Y'all ready to go?
Yeah.
Alright, let's go.
All right, go ahead, Jim.
You ready to go where?
See your lawyer, talk on the phone.
You say you want to talk to your lawyer first?
If I need a lawyer, yeah.
Well, you're under arrest.
I'm under arrest?
Yes.
So I need a lawyer? Alright, I'm about to talk with a lawyer.
Okay.
Robinson decided to exercise his right to remain silent and requested a lawyer after being informed that he was under arrest for a homicide. It was as if he was trying to create a diversion, but when the police officer came inside the room to shift his location, he did something that no one could have thought about.
You good? Yeah, I'm good.
You guys alright?
Yeah. I'm gonna switch out cuffs and glad I didn't take them off and I did the right thing.
Yep.
Fortunately, because of the gun strap and safety features, he couldn't access the weapon. Additional police officers entered the room to help, using a taser gun to subdue the suspect, which made the investigation room turn into a battleground.
We're gonna put you in shackles, okay? Because of the way you behave, okay? Don't misbehave again. We'll have to take you a second time. This is all passive. We're not gonna be dicks and lock it down and nothing like that. We just need you to cooperate, okay?
Whose cuffs are on him right now?
Your taser, right? Change to the side so you don't hit nobody. These next ones are going on your feet. Don't be a fool, okay?
Robinson attempted to manipulate his handcuffs, and the police discussed their actions during the arrest. Luckily, he received an 18-year prison sentence for voluntary manslaughter and robbery charges.
Look at this left cuff. I can't feel
Okay, we'll deal with that when we get to the other room, okay? Undoing handcuffs right this second, not really an option. Turn left for me.
While Thomas tried to snatch away the weapon, our next suspect was desperate enough to even use a pen against the officer. Duran was arrested after an incident at St. Bridget's School. According to police, Duran went to the school, attempting to impersonate a parent with the intention of trying to kidnap a child.
Sit down! Are we serious, dude?
Here at 5 o'clock, got a hold of showing a kidnapping suspect arrested and tried getting away from Xenia police a second time.
Duran is accused of showing up at a school open house event, kidnap and sexually abuse the little girl, but the principal and parents stepped in and stopped him and called police.
St. Bridget's School principal Terry Adkins was quick to recognize that Duran was acting in an odd manner, which raised his suspicions. When he determined that Duran was not the father of the victim, he escorted him out of the building and called the police.
Investigators say he showed up to St. Bridget's Monday night claiming to be the dad of a kindergartner there. The I-Team got said he even identified the 5-year-old girl by name. St. Bridget's principal noticed something was wrong, confronted Duran with the girl's actual parents, and called police, who arrested Duran.
When police arrived on scene, they interviewed Duran in the school parking lot, where he gave different stories about why he was at the school, before admitting that he came to kidnap a child. He then voluntarily agreed to come to the Xenia Police Division to speak with officers.
The principal was very quick, is my understanding, in recognizing that there was an issue and addressing it. So I absolutely think that he could have prevented something very bad from happening.
On that same day, soon after the suspect realized that he had been caught in the action, he attempted to subdue the Xenia Police Division officer in an attempt to make an escape from the premise. However, his horrific attempt was caught on camera.
Duran is sitting in an interview room at Xenia PD before this video shows him trying to stab the Xenia officer with a pen.
Duran was charged with 1 count of attempted kidnapping, 1 count of felonious assault, and 1 count of escape.
It is my opinion, as his counsel, and my ask to this court, that you provide Mr. Duran with a bond that has conditions that make it available for him to be taken out of the jail and put in a facility that is better equipped to handle the mental health concerns and needs that he has.
If you think Duran was swift in his decision, you better wait for what this old guy did. Ricky Hawthorne was convicted for the homicide of Lara Kuchar and Tommy Skeens, and he received 3 life sentences. Ricky Hawthorne quickly admitted to his involvement during the investigation, confessing in a remarkably short time. As he was already discovered near the bodies, the suspect's DNA was present all over the scene. Consequently, the police had no trouble apprehending him. However, he made the process even smoother for them.
Every time I go around the corner, they come, I don't know, I mean, I'm shaking and all of this, and I can't get rid of them, and they on that. I can't take it no longer.
And that's what we want to hear.
Sit down here and we'll figure this out. That's all we want to hear. It's been 4 months. They had the whole block screwed up. You knew it. Everybody knew it. They was running everybody over there on the whole side. Nut, man.
Ricky explained how bad substances influenced his behavior, making him feel delusional and out of control. Furthermore, he confessed that this incident had impacted his mental health badly. This behavior suggested that the entire ordeal had taken a toll on him, leading to his instant revelation of what he did.
Would you like to make a statement and answer all questions in reference to that incident right now without an attorney? That's up to you. I presently wish to make a statement and or answer any questions without an attorney being present.
I was delusional, man. I was on drugs, but after it's coming back. I mean, I'm thinking, I'm starting to remember.
Okay.
The detective informed Ricky about obtaining search warrants for processing his clothing, shoes, and a vocal swab for DNA. The detective acknowledged Ricky's hesitation and gave him time to think, assuring him they were not there to judge, but to seek the truth.
She's not here to judge you, and neither am I. Okay, that's not what we're here for. We're just looking for facts. I can look at the evidence and understand some of the things that happened. I just don't know the story. Totally up to you. So I am going to give you the time like you asked to make sure that if you want to talk, and just take the time. Just take the time, think about it. Okay? Come on with me, Ricky.
Although Ricky made the most straightforward confession, the next suspect did her best to manipulate the investigation. Kimberly Kessler was suspected of manslaughter, and the victim, her co-worker Jolene Cummings. The suspect had used numerous aliases over 2 decades. Despite her secretive identity changes, she exhibited confidence and maintained composure during police interrogation.
About 25 years running from the FBI and thought I could build like a life for myself, and I've done nothing. I've been living in, I've been trying. I've been living in my car for the last over 2 years. It's not getting any better.
You know, and I'm not the FBI, I'm not a federal law enforcement agent or anything like that, but you know, I kind of like to hear the background of why.
Kimberly seemed friendly and easygoing, exhibiting traits of superficial charm linked to psychopathy. She participated in light conversation, recounting stories from her past. This charming demeanor reflected a psychopathic trait, laying the groundwork for additional revelations.
The judge made him get our son, and so thankfully my son is 20 years old now. I haven't seen him since he was 14 months old. I did not want him in foster care. It scared me to death. I couldn't even understand why they were. My son is Evan, and I was under the name Christina Brooke at the time. Yeah, the names go on, don't they? 25 years, I mentioned I've been running from the FBI. They'll have a list of everything.
Attempting to control the detectives, Kimberly emphasized her background as a dancer and expressed a love for dancing. She sought to gain their favor, aware that her attractiveness might influence their perception. However, one of the detectives appeared to be influenced by her tactics.
So I met him at a topless bar. He was with me whenever I called somebody and they said, the FBI is looking for you. And he's like, oh my God. And then he tells me everything. Oh, I robbed these banks. So I'm like, you what?
Are you going to write a book one day?
I don't even know if anyone will believe it. But the FBI has a record, so you know it's true, okay?
Her lying skills were outshined when Kimberly fabricated a story about the father of her son when questioned about her future plans. She lies smoothly and confidently, showcasing her ability to manipulate and control narratives.
His dad took us, and he was just acting kind of crazy. And he goes to like grab him, and I'm like, he's 3 months old. What? And he just took his head, pushed it up, and I didn't want to like resist because it's the baby. You know, it was like nasty, but I'm like, I'm gonna call the police. What is wrong with you?
Do you plan on trying to reconcile with Evan?
That's my baby. That's my only child.
Kimberly consciously suggested that Jolene was a substance user, potentially causing her disappearance. Her consistent body language and tone raised questions about the authenticity of her statements, leaving ambiguity about whether she was a master deceiver or everything she said was a fabrication.
Did you guys ever hang out after work? Did you ever go anywhere together? Okay. Is she ever allowed to use your car? You're allowed to use her car? Did you ever go anywhere together like that?
No, but you asked me all that before and I answered before.
Okay.
That's all right.
The charge you were arrested on is a grand theft auto charge. You knew that, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Detectives presented Kimberly with evidence against her, deviating from typical interrogation strategy. This tactic was aimed to make her realize the futility of denying her guilt by exposing inconsistencies.
I don't think there's a way you start. I mean, my life. I'm 50 years old. I don't really see. I give up. I'll keep breathing and praying, and that's about it. I don't see anything panning out.
I don't see where you want it anywhere else, but.
Oh, I am. I can't believe it. The computer's really that slow.
But I've seen it. I want to talk to you. I want to keep up and keep leaving.
As Kimberly is confronted with the evidence, her demeanor shifts from happy and charismatic to revealing the real Kimberly Kessler. The detectives were able to read between the lines, and her transformation suggested a change in her facade, creating uncertainty about her true nature.
Well, they weren't so far, so I don't really even expect them to be. That's what I saw down there. That's fine. I'm expecting that's what I heard, that Southern jails, that's what happened. So I'm like, I'm perfectly expecting it to be really bad.
Do you not want to talk to me without legal counsel? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, sir.
Do you need a drink of water? Do you need to go to the bathroom?
No.
Well, the detectives in the Kimberly Kessler case were at least aware of the suspect's tactics. But for Ryan Waller, they seemed confused, or under false pretense. Ryan Waller's horrifying ordeal began when 2 men broke into his house seeking revenge in 2006. Shot twice in the eye, he miraculously survived, but was taken to the police station instead of the hospital for interrogation.
Do I get to go home?
Oh, no, you should go to the doctor is where you should go.
Me?
Yeah.
Why? That?
Yeah.
Is it bad?
If you have a concussion, you don't need to sleep. That's what doctors will say. So I'll put your feet on the table like that. Just put them straight on the table.
Despite suffering from a gunshot wound and a brain bleed, the detective mocked Ryan during the interrogation. The detective failed to recognize the severity of Ryan's condition, subjecting him to unnecessary questioning for over an hour.
You've never seen any kind of cop show, lawyer show, any kind of show?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the highest grade you went through school?
I don't know.
You don't know the highest grade you went through?
8.
Did you graduate?
Yeah.
Do you have a GED?
I don't know.
You don't know what?
I don't know. I just want to go home.
Oh, you're not going to go home right now.
As it can clearly be seen inside the footage, the suspect has been showing clear signs of visible distress, and his head injury has been quite visible.
What happened to your face?
I don't know.
You told the officer just a few minutes ago that someone hit you.
It was an accident. I forgot why.
What was an accident?
Heather hitting me.
What did she hit you with? Did you guys have an argument?
Not really, no.
Not really?
Uh-uh.
What happened for her to hit you in the eye like that?
She just hit me in an accident. It happened Christina with her hair or something. I don't know.
Ryan recounted the harrowing incident, revealing Richie and his father. But as soon as he started to explain everything, he started to forget what he was going to say, even the entire ordeal.
I want to know what happened in your house last night.
Well, these people came over, Richie and his dad, with shoot and arrow, bow and darts. They hit me and her with those. That's it.
Who's Richie?
I don't know.
Now it's Richie that hit you, not Heather?
No, Richie and his dad.
Why?
They're trying to get their stuff. I don't know why.
And they had some kind of bow and arrows?
Mm-hmm.
Despite visible signs of trauma and distress, the detective failed to connect the dots or realize the gravity of Ryan's injuries. However, when the detective didn't see him adequately replying to his questions, he stopped for a closer look.
Put your feet off my table, please.
My feet hurt, man. I don't know why.
Get them off my table. Let me see your nose. Put your legs down. Bring your face closer.
Oh, my head hurts.
Okay. Be right back.
After 56 minutes of interrogation, Ryan was finally taken to the hospital, where doctors discovered the severity of his injuries. He suffered long-term consequences, losing part of his brain and his left eye. Complications, including seizures, plagued him until his tragic passing in 2016. As Ryan Waller did survive the interrogation with a head injury, when it comes to Xavier Franklin, he was taken into custody due to outstanding warrants, but something different happened.
If you step up for me, brother, step up for me real quick. Let's go put you in handcuffs. You're just detained right now. No big deal.
I'll pat you down real quick, all right? Good.
This car right here.
Franklin is taken to the police station for an interview. Security cameras captured him getting sick in the interview room, throwing up for about 10 minutes. Officials provided him with paper towels and a trash can, although the suspect disclosed discomfort in his chest as EMS was called in, and he was asked to be taken to the hospital.
Everything okay? I'm gonna take your hat real quick. You okay?
No.
What's wrong?
I just thought of blood.
From what?
Overall, I just had a wheel job. I'm a recovered alcoholic.
Okay.
He was seen struggling as he walked out of the room, but eventually manages to go outside the interrogation room.
I don't even feeling bad. Early this morning. Early this morning? It's real still for me. What kind of medical problems you got? Pancreatitis. Who? Pancreatitis. Okay.
How long you had that?
Almost a year.
You drink a lot?
Later that evening, at about 9 o'clock, Franklin died at the hospital, and the incident remains under investigation. If it was an error on the cop's end, or he was already under the influence of something while he was captured by the police, it's not known. Xavier Franklin did meet an unfortunate fate, and so did Danielle Nemitz, the wife of Skyler Nemitz, a 20-year-old U.S. Army soldier. Soon after he returned home from a 3-week training camp, his 19-year-old wife, Danielle, was found dead. Despite appearing as a perfect couple, there were issues behind closed doors, including Skyler's controlling behavior and manipulative nature.
This is a part of the investigation of what happened in your home, okay? So this is another one of those formalities. Before questioning or making any statements, I want to advise you of your right. May can be used as evidence against you in a court of law. You cannot afford an attorney. You're entitled to have one appointed for you without cost to you, and to have an attorney present at any time and any question or making any statements.
Nemitz initiated the interview with crocodile tears, but after posing several fundamental questions, he abandoned his initial act and shifted to a composed tone. It appeared as though he unintentionally caught himself in the midst of the transition. Here, have a look.
What do you mean, what, she does her own hours?
Yeah, it's a whatever you call it system. She calls in and just talks to her boss, and she works with the management. So anyway, she just said, I'm gonna work for like 2 hours and call some, I don't know, how you handle it. I don't know anything about it. Military, I don't know all that shit.
Okay.
As part of the routine protocol, detectives started the interrogation with personal questions. These questions helped detectives determine the body language of the suspect, like how they would react while being honest or lying. However, Skyler, being a sociopath, misread the situation and thought he could get out of suspicion if the interrogation was going to be so simple. Look how he explained the incident.
I took the rifle, I took the magazine out, and I don't know what the happened. Like, I didn't charge it, I didn't pull the trigger or anything. I hit the safety, I put the weapon on fire. It was on fire, so it had the probability of firing the weapon. And I don't know how the went off, but it went off. And
What's your wife's name?
Her first name is Tara.
Skyler admitted to an accidental discharge while cleaning his rifle, resulting in the mishap with Danielle. But his story was inconsistent, as they were already aware of his controlling nature through witnesses. Although, look how he shifted his stance when the investigating officer confronted him with this.
And so this is
the thing. Attack me with this.
No, I'm not attacking you, man. So far, your story's changing a little bit, and I'm concerned about that. Because if you were pissed off, if you're just really mad, and you pointed the gun and you pulled the trigger, just a fit of passion or rage, one guy that had a split second of a stupid mistake or anger versus a guy that's a calculated murderer.
The police officer got tired of Skyler's facade and his back and forth repeating of the same statement again and again. So the detectives revealed to him that they knew he was suspicious of his wife having an extramarital affair and set the stage for him to make a confession.
Tell me what happened.
I don't think she was having an affair at all. That was probably something on my mind. The weapon was on the bed. Took the magazine out of the weapon from the birdcage.
Was it in the birdcage or was it in the mag well?
It was in the birdcage. I put the weapon on fire.
Oriented at your wife's head. Why would you orient that weapon to your wife's head?
I really don't know. I really don't know.
However, he kept on denying that he had anything to do with the entire incident. But at the same time, we were able to see the frustration on his face for not being able to convince the detectives. So in the heat of the moment, he said his piece.
Your wife deserves the right answer, man, not this.
She does deserve the right answer.
Then tell it.
I did not kill her. I was not mad. I did not intentionally mean to murder my wife. I love my wife, and today, especially, nothing wanted to happen to her. I made love to her when I got home, and she wanted to relax, and I wanted to relax. So I watched a movie, and she was on working, okay?
Skyler Nemitz was charged with manslaughter. From starting the interrogation with crying and putting up the I didn't do it act, to literally making up stories. He finally admitted to his act without depicting any emotion. Not only did Danielle have to go at the hands of a lover, but something similar also happened with Kevin Bacon. On Christmas Day 2019, the Metro Police Department received a report about a missing person who had not shown up for Christmas brunch. Upon investigating Kevin's phone, a chat log from a mobile dating app revealed his communication with Mark Latunsky, a 50-year-old divorced male from Michigan. They planned an intimate meetup, with Mark intending to pick up Kevin and take him to his home.
So when you're not working, what do you do? I'm just doing construction, working on building the house, picking up odd jobs. When I realized that I was paying myself out of these trust funds, I got contacted by the New York bankers. I don't know what happened, why they contacted me directly, but something must have happened.
During the search, officers found a secluded room with a sliding barn door that locked from the outside. To their shock, they discovered Kevin's nude body hanging from his feet in the basement, with a trapdoor leading to a pool of dried blood below. The victim was identified through tattoos and hair matching the missing person pamphlet.
We'd matched the tattoos and hair to the missing person flyer, and that was how they identified Kevin.
It was just completely evil. Who could have done that to somebody?
I felt a lot of pressure. Kevin's dead. He's got a family. They're going to want answers. I don't have them at all. I just broadly asked him who was the man in the basement and left it open-ended and let him kind of direct his thought process.
As the investigation unfolded, Mark Latunsky initially appeared calm and collected, discussing Christmas decorations with the officers. However, the gruesome scene in the basement revealed the extent of the brutality of Kevin's homicide.
28, can we get some sort of update for EMS?
Central, this is most likely a kitty. We're going to treat this as a homicide.
When I arrived on scene, we were taken to a secluded room on the north side of the house that only locked from the outside. So if the searching officers were not really thorough, it very easily could have been missed.
In the subsequent interrogation, Mark attempted to frame the incident as a mutual agreement, suggesting that Kevin wanted to do this. The detectives, taken aback by this claim, managed to maintain their composure throughout the shocking revelation. Here, give it a listen.
You don't know how many times, you talk to them and you realize how a person's life goes. I've never done this. I still have never done this before. We chatted for a while. He described the things that he wanted. We made the agreement. He was supposed to disappear, be gone.
Now, according to the detectives, they had a clear hinge of the suspect committing the act, and now all he was doing was distancing himself away from the entire incident. But what he said next got him deep into everything.
Is that after he was dead, he was hanging, I was done for the night, and it was then that I started to do what I told him I was going to do. It was the new moon, and honoring my word to what I said I would do. That was when I took his I cut them out, and I took them upstairs and I ate them.
As soon as he confessed about this, the detectives knew what they were dealing with. Luckily, Mark Latunsky was charged with manslaughter.
This is one of the most brutal, horrific murders I've seen not only in this county, but in the state.
As someone who works with survivors of sexual violence, I think really important that we never victim blame. It was not Kevin's fault that this happened. We can do everything right and protect ourselves in the best ways possible. At the end of the day, it is the perpetrator who caused that to happen.